everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to share with you 5 things I do to stay positive. A lot of people talk to me and they're like, man, Chris, how do you stay positive all the time? And well, I'm not. I don't stay positive all the time. Of course, sometimes we all get negative. I happen to live in an environment that I don't really like. I don't think it really fits me. However, this is my circumstance, and there's some loud people. This is exactly one of the things I don't like. In fact, it wasn't even that I decided to do this video here. It wasn't like I packed up my gear and was like, oh, I'm gonna go make a video today. No, I just happened to come here and I had the equipment with me, and then I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to do this video for a while. Let's go ahead and make this video. All right, so in staying positive, number 1, the first thing I think is really important is to be grateful. And I set time every day, throughout the day. I do it in the morning, and I often do it in the evening before I go to bed, to think about all the things in my life that I'm grateful. My family, my friends, the fact that I make enough money, my family's not hungry. These are wonderful things, and I'm very fortunate. I get to do a lot of the things that I love doing, and I love my work, so I think I'm pretty well off, and I'm always grateful for these things. So I always like to think about it, especially when I'm feeling down. I try to think about all the things that I am grateful for and show gratitude to my coworkers. Currently, I'm a manager of a school, so I have a lot of people working for me, and I really try to make it a point every day to go out and show people that I appreciate that they're working, I appreciate that they're doing their jobs very well, and that I'm happy to work with them, that I really care about them. That's important to me, and I do the same thing with my friends and my family. And I care about all of you. I'm so thankful for you watching my videos. When I started this channel, I just wanted to share my life with people, and it kind of morphed into something else, and I learned something very valuable, and that is that what I feel that I'm very good at, not just being a teacher, but I feel that I'm very good at inspiring and motivating people. And now as a manager, I feel that that is my job, to inspire and motivate my staff. And as a teacher, of course, my job is to inspire and motivate my students. So this is what I work on. This is what I do every day. Thanks. All right, the number 2 thing I do to try and stay positive is I unplug. I guess I'm kind of plugged in right now, but I think I feel like I'm mostly offline. I try to get away from everything. I just turn off the phone. My phone automatically shuts off all notifications every night at a certain time. And if I'm not paying attention to my phone, then I just don't know what's happening. And you might think, oh, well, what if there's an emergency? By the time that my phone turns itself off, anything that is happening that needs to be done can just be done in the morning. I'm good with that. I also try to make sure I have time to read. Every morning I get up, I read. Every morning I get up and I write. I spend about 45 minutes to an hour reading and 45 minutes to an hour writing every morning. Every morning. It's very important to me, and it really sets the tone for my day. I really enjoy it. So I feel it's really important to unplug, and I get out and try to spend time with my family when I'm offline, and keep my kids offline. My son loves playing on his phone, playing on my phone, and I'm like, dude, we've got to have time, read books, play games, play cards, do stuff like that. That is the best. That is my favorite thing in the world. Along with that too, I like to do what I'm doing right now, which is I come out here and I spend time in nature. I'm currently sitting out by the bay, and it is gorgeous here. It is so nice, and I don't come out here enough. I can look across this bay and I can see Hong Kong. I can see this new bridge that they built from Shenzhen to Hong Kong and Macau, and that is an engineering marvel. It is a beautiful blue sky, somewhat cloudy, windy day. I really hope this sound is not messed up, but looks like things are going well so far. And yeah, man, this is what really resets my batteries. Like if I'm feeling down, if something happens at work and it kind of starts to put me in a negative mood, I always go out for a walk. Always go for a walk. And even though I live and work in the city and I go for a walk, but there's some trees outside and you can get to a place that's got a little bit less people. So being in nature always helps me be a more even tone and just more balanced and more positive. All right, the number three thing that keeps me positive is having goals. I think it's really important to have goals, and it's important that our goals are not just a thing, but a time to accomplish that thing. And we can always take our goals and break them into smaller goals to make sure that they are accomplishable. Let's say you want to make $1 million. Well, you need a time frame. When are you going to make that $1 million? So let's say 5 years. You want to make $1 million in the next 5 years. So you can break that down and say, okay, that's $200,000 a year. That's about $17,000 every month. And now there's people watching. So then you take your $16,000, $17,000 every month, and you break that down over the days that you're going to be working every month, and you've got your daily goal. So every day you can work toward your goal and see what kind of progress you're making. Are you actually accomplishing your goal every day? So even if your goal is not to make $1 million, whatever your goal is, as long as you set the goal, set your intention, I really believe that having goals and having clear, concise goals, it gives you a vision and it lets you feel like you're working toward a greater purpose. When you're working toward a greater purpose, the little things don't bother you so much. It's much easier to stay positive and stay motivated because you know you're working toward your goal. Number 4 thing is to recognize the negativity. Understand yourself. I always tell people, you don't have to be honest with me, but you must be honest with yourself. And you have to recognize that, yeah, you're going to be negative sometimes. You have to recognize that you're not always on top of your game. And accept it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Understand that we have a negativity bias. You look at a car, you're like, oh man, one day I'm going to buy that car. And there's a little voice in your head that says, no, you're not. You're never going to be able to buy that car. You got to put that thing back in its place. You got to tell that little voice, no, this is my goal and I'm going to do it. So by breaking through these things and getting out of our comfort zone, we manage to do great things. So recognize when you're being negative and allow yourself to turn it into a positive. Ask yourself questions. So you want a promotion, okay? And that little voice says, oh, you don't deserve that job. You're not working hard enough. Instead of doing that, ask yourself, how do I get this promotion? How do I get this new job? How do I show my value to my boss? The number 5 thing I do to stay positive is focus on solutions, not the problems. So as I said, we have a negativity bias. We have a little voice that tells us, oh, this is bad. We need to be able to work past that. And one thing to do is to tell yourself how you're going to get past that. For example, a few months ago, I had a really bad day. It was one of our busiest days for classes. It was a Saturday morning, and that is just the busiest day. We have like 40 days throughout. We have like 40 classes throughout the day. And as I'm pouring my morning coffee, I get a message from one of my teachers, and he says, dude, I can't come to work today. I'm sick. And I was like, and I sent him a message kind of half-hearted, like, oh, can you come in just for the morning so I can figure out how to get through the rest of the day? And he's like, no, I'm sick. I'm like, okay, I understand. I go out of my apartment, I'm walking through my community, trying to figure out what am I going to do about this teacher being sick. And I get to the bus stop, and then I get a message from another teacher. And she says, dude, I'm sick. I'm not coming to work today. And honestly, my first thought is, forget it. This day is done. There is no recovering from this day. My first thought was like, run away and hide, quit, go back to America, do something, because this is over. And I caught myself, right? I was like, wait, this can't be over. We can't do this. We cannot go out like that. And so actually what I did is I thought about, okay, what's the upside? And there isn't much upside, right? Everybody has to work really hard. So what I did was I sent a message to my team and I said, my dear friends, we have done some incredible things over the years, and today must be one of those days. I said, we have an opportunity to do something great, an opportunity to do something incredible. So instead of thinking about how bad it was and oh, poor me, how can everybody be sick? I was like, no, we have a chance to do something incredible. And even though it's not something that will be recognized by the outside world, we as a team will know that we pulled it off. And we did. We pulled it off. We didn't miss any classes. We didn't have to cancel anything. We really didn't even have to reshuffle anything. We just had to work extra hard. We had to cover a lot of extra hours. We had to combine some classes, but it worked out. And, you know, I was so happy because my team came together and we pulled off the awesome. Just like I said. Just like I knew it would happen. So there you go, everybody. 5 things I do to stay positive. I hope that these things help you stay positive. And if you have anything you want to share, give me a comment down below. And if there's a question you want to ask, if you want me to answer a question in a video, leave me a comment down below and I'll probably do it. So, once again, thanks for watching. And remember, you are awesome. See you.